Waste products in communities are one of many ways in which our environments are polluted. But recycling and upcycling these products can create a sustainable world for all of us to live in. Welcome to today's episode of the Women Series, where we capture developments and stories that impact women. Today, we'll continue our series on the waste and recycling industry. And my guest for today is an ecopreneur who is passionate about enlightening people in the best practices around waste management. She has an experience of over 10 years in the education sector, which has helped her in engaging quite a number of people in teaching, and she has been involved in so many projects, if I must say. She's the founder of the African Creative Hub. Welcome with me, Adejumoke Olowokere. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you.
Good to have you too.
Oh, should I say welcome to our space? Thank you for having us today.
Thank you.
I mean, I entered into the space and I can see quite a number of, should I call it beautifications?
Well,
Okay, I mean that's just the word wealth. Something some other person will consider a waste. You've transformed and upcycled and recycled and reused them into the. It's even everywhere. It's everywhere in this space. So, could you share with us how you got into this industry?
well, I actually stumbled on it. That was not what I read in school. It happened, I think it's almost 12 years now. I was at home on maternity leave. It started in my kitchen. Yeah, I was at home, and for the first time, I noticed the amount of waste that I was generating in my own flat alone. Maybe because I was directly involved with the waste management of the estate. I was the one collecting money from the neighbors.
Okay, so it was
And
something you were
so
into
I was,
before.
no, I was not into it,
But it
like
was
an
just
estate.
coordinating
I was
the.
coordinating, collecting money from the tenants and handing it over to the waste manager. And so each time the waste manager is here and he's always complaining, our drum is too full. We should not put everything that is waste into the drum. We should not put, like, it was a very big space.
Okay.
So once we do the cutting for the grass, sometimes some of the neighbors will put the cuttings in the dustbin. So he will be screaming and he'll be like, "You're just putting grass into the drum. You should just remove the grass." And so that was the first time gave me that awareness of waste as a whole. And then because I was trying to reduce the amount of waste that ended up in the dustbin,
Okay.
I started asking myself questions from my own kitchen that why do I have to throw this away? And I just had a twin. I was home on maternity leave. And I have a lot of visitors that will come. And then I noticed that we were generating so much waste. For my twins alone, we were using 1 can of milk every day. And so under 1 week, I'll have like 7 in my store. So I started keeping. I didn't know what to do with it because I never had any background of art. I never had any background. I've never had an art teacher. I don't do nothing art. But I was like, why do I have to throw it away? Then there was a particular day I was drinking juice. I bought a box of juice. And then I was done. But as I was about to throw the box away, I just had ding in the box. I'm like, my juice is still remaining in this box. I can't throw it away. I want to finish my juice. So I asked for a scissors and then I cut it open. Lo and behold, the inside of that box was finer than the outside. The inside was silver, beautiful. So, and I'm like, why do I have to finish drinking this juice and throw this box away? Why can't I get something to use it for? So I started storing boxes too. So before you realized it, I had a whole room filled with different forms, cans, snail shells, egg shells, papers. Yes, snail shells. Because if you have ever, normally when you want to eat snail, you just take a hammer and you crack it open. But if you don't crack it open, if you boil, if you use it, if you don't want the slimy thing, you can boil. If you boil it, your snail will come out whole, and then you have a beautiful eggshell, snail shell. Guess what? I have snail shells that I've kept for almost 15 years now. And nothing has happened to it. It does not biodegrade. It is solid. Beautiful, beautiful handiwork of God like that. Now, I started storing it. I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have any idea. But I kept asking, what can I do? And that question is what led me to what I'm doing today.
Okay, so there's always a question of what's next at every junction. How have you been able to figure out all of those things?
Well, from asking that question of what do I do with my waste, that gave me that picture of I want to do more with my life because I was not into art of any form. I was an executive secretary in a company, going to work every morning, coming back at 5, managing like 30 staff. We were in the borehole sector. And that same question I asked made my work become like, I want to do much more with my life. And then a friend of mine came and said, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know, but I'm just tired of what I'm doing. I want to do something different. And then he said, what do you like doing? I said, I love reading. He said, so why don't you find a task or a skill around reading? So he took me to Lagos, showed me the rope, and I started selling books. And then I became a bookseller. I would put motivational books, put it in my car, drive it around, sell it to my friends. And it was really, really moving. But one day I went to Lagos and then I stumbled on an artwork that said $1 crafts. I opened it, I saw the price, it was maybe 6,000 or so for one. I'm like, this is not my budget. I came to buy 500 naira books so that my whole box can be full for me to come and sell. But I couldn't take my mind off the book. And after a lot of push, I bought the book. And I could not drop that book from Lagos to Ibadan. That book opened up my eyes to all my questions that I've been asking. And so that book took me to my next level, which is to start an art camp. I took the picture.
The power of reading.
Yes. So I read the book. As I was reading the book, once I read the book and I'm seeing a particular recipe, I'm getting inspiration immediately, 10 more recipes using that same design. And so I couldn't keep it to myself. I started doing different samples and I took it around to school, but nobody called me to come and teach their students. So I said, okay, fine. If Mountain is not going to go to Mohammed, Mohammed will go to Mountain. So I started holiday camp. I said, okay, if I cannot have access to the children during the school, I will have. So I did flyers, send it to my friends, and that was how we started holiday camp. So from there, I became an art teacher. I was teaching recycled art. And at my camp, it was beautiful. We were experimenting. Our focus was on the hands. I remembered far back as 12 years ago, our mantra remains the same till today. And what is it? These are my hands. God gave them to me.
Okay, let me
They are blessed.
Amen. My hands
Whatever
are blessed.
I do with them shall prosper.
Yeah.
My hands are blessed. I've been saying that for 12 years now. Anytime I want to start any artwork with the children, I will tell them, lift out your hands and look at it. I'm sure many of you have never looked at your hands to see how beautiful and unique it is. These hands, you can use it to create wonderful works. Combine it with your brain and the waste and the resources you have available. You don't need a lot of money. All you need is sit down, pray, ask God to give you inspiration. You will be shocked what you can do with your hand. And so it's led to that. And from there, a parent came, brought her daughter, thought her daughter is not going to stay. Her daughter ended up staying for 2 weeks. Didn't want to go home. And the woman said, you are doing something. For my daughter to stay here, come and teach in our school. Guess what? International school. That was how I became an art teacher without an art certificate. I worked there for 5 years.
Interesting.
And then the next level came again.
Interesting. The power of reading solves these problems,
Yes,
and then you
yes.
found your route.
Yes.
I can see quite a number of beautifications around here. You're working on one presently. I can see bottle covers.
Everywhere.
I can see
That's our research.
cans. I can
Yes.
see. I mean, how do you source for all of these products? And do you just wake up all of the morning and be like, this is the next thing I want to do. Let me even try and do this. Let me even try and do this. I mean, how did you even gather all of these products?
What inspires us is the materials that is available.
Okay.
For a while, we've been around for a while now, so people know us already. So people call us. Now, the idea is for everybody. Okay, now, let me tell you our mission statement at our office. To create a sustainable world without waste. How do you do that? We have come with just simple 5 R's and a U. Reduce, reuse, recycle, refuse, repair, and upcycle. So we believe that if everybody can do this with whatever they call waste, and then let me ask you, waste is not from nature. Waste is by human. Anything you call waste now, it is you and I that created it. Because nature harbors waste. In nature, there's no waste. Look at the cycle of everything. You can reuse and almost, let's look at the chicken. If you have a chicken, the egg of a chicken is useful. The feathers of the chicken is useful. Even the blood is useful. And the poo-poo of the chicken is also useful. So everything is going back to earth. But if you look at waste that we call waste now, nylons, plastic, it is all man-made. And so it means that it is us that can find solution to it. So if you can do this 5 hours and a year and I can do it, then there won't be waste. So now people we are focusing on letting people have that knowledge first. Once they have that knowledge with our experiences, once they know, then they are willing to change. So people now call us to come and pick up waste from their home. So because if you can segregate from the house, okay, like here now we run a circular economy. It means that we don't throw anything away. If we have nylon, we have a bag for nylon. We have a bag for paper. We have a bag for plastic. We have a bag for everything, even food waste. We have where we put our food waste, we turn it into manure. So the same thing we want everybody to do. So if you are in your house, you have already collected your bottles, you're not throwing them away, you call us, we'll come and pick up. We have eco homes that we pick up from because we don't want it to be contaminated. But sometimes we pick up some even on the road. Now, this is our waste museum. We're working on it. It's not yet ready. Our ceiling, if you check all the ceilings outside, it's made from tires. Those tires, I picked them myself on the road. I was driving and I was going to somewhere, and then I saw the tires, they were already cut open. You know, this is it. This is a tire now. Yeah. This is a tire. This is made from tire. Yeah. Now, the tire that I saw was already cut open, so it's just flat down here like this. And I knew that if I was the one that wanted to make that cut, it would take me like almost 1 week to do the cut. And so I know that that was a find for me. So I diverted. I didn't even go out with my car that day. I picked the Micra. Please, help me to come and pack this treasure, because for me, it is treasure. When I see such materials, they are treasure for me because, for joy. Like you asked that, what inspires us? It is the waste that inspires us. This particular project I'm doing now, this is not what I planned to use to do it before. Normally, I use corks to do my mirrors. The cork from your wine. Yes, I have one there, like that one there. So I slice it. That's what I use for my mirror. But this is from the buckets of paints. After we are done painting, this is the acrylic paint we use. So after we are done painting, this will dry. But if you take a scissors now and you peel it, this that you peel from here now, this is what I'm using. So even from the waste of the paint, it's a medium. Now, because I saw this inspired me to do this. So I didn't plan to use this before, but because I saw, so it is the waste that gives us inspiration. When we see the waste, we say, oh, this can turn to this. So waste for us is an inspiration.
That is, I mean, I'm blown away. That is interesting. But I don't believe that you experience challenges sometimes.
That's normal. Challenges is part of life.
Yeah. So could you share your challenges with us? Because I mean, it couldn't have been a rosy journey all through.
It's still not a rosy journey because we are not where we want to be. But one thing that we know is that you must always start from where you are, and you must always start with what you have. There will always be challenges. But those challenges are part of the journey, because it cannot just be going on smooth. If you don't have challenges, then maybe you're not doing the right thing. Yeah. But when you face challenges, it actually inspires you to think more. Okay, let me quickly show you this example. I'm using this glue. Yeah. I wanted to finish this project today, but I didn't know that I was out of glue. Okay. So I was squeezing it, I was scraping. Then I took water, I put a little water inside here, I was still mixing. Then because it was still not enough, I dipped my hand inside, and then I got a whole big bunch of glue that was already corded up here. If I did not face that challenge, I would not discover that there was actually more glue. So that means I'm stretching my resources. If I'm supposed to have thrown this box away now and say, oh, glue is finished, imagine how much I've saved. So even out of the waste and out of the material, I'm still saving. I had a story of a particular man that, Baba Odunlade, there's one of my mentors that is also into waste art like this. She was sharing a story with us. She said there was a particular man that was just an ordinary man. He was not rich, but he had a very rich collection of art. Then somebody did an interview for him and said, how were you able to afford it? Guess what? He said he saves on every material he uses in his house. It means that if he buys a toothpaste, and that toothpaste is supposed to last him for, let's say, 500 wash. Okay. He will stretch it and make it last 750 washes. So the extra, he will now take from his pocket. If he buys the toothpaste 500 naira, he will now take 200 naira from his pocket and save. Telling himself that I have been able to save on my toothpaste. Okay. So if you want to buy soap, instead of using that soap 10 times, he will use it 15 times and then save 20 naira from the soap money. And after every month, he gathers that extra money, and that is what he uses to buy art. But we have this consumer and wasteful mentality whereby we waste resources. We waste resources. You know, if you see people waste food, you see people waste cloth, you see people waste even the normal regular material. And that is why most people end up in poverty. Because even the little we have, we don't know how to manage. So it's apart from using waste, even the regular thing that's not supposed to be waste, we turn them to waste. Ask yourself how many clothes are in your wardrobe that you have not worn for 2 years. Let's start from there.
That is right there.
So that's it. Instead of buying something new, why don't you sass up what you have already? You have, okay, let me show you another example. I have plenty of examples to tell you. We wanted to do a project one time, and then we were supposed to get t-shirts. We didn't have money to buy t-shirts. And then we said, okay, you know what? We don't have money to buy t-shirt, but we want something unique and something uniform. I said, okay, you know what? Everybody, go into your wardrobes. If you have any black t-shirt that you're not using again, bring it out. Guess what? When I checked inside my wardrobe, I found over 20 black t-shirts that I've not worn in a while. So I brought 20 t-shirts out from my home wardrobe. Other people brought 5, 3, 4. We gave it to printer, and we printed just 10%. So instead of buying the t-shirt at 3,000, we printed 500 naira, and we had a brand new t-shirt. That is what we are talking about. So when we face challenges, the major challenges we face is finance. But we always find a way around it. Another challenge we find is people's mentality, most especially adults. When you talk to children, when we train children, they catches the idea, they run with it, and they tell everybody. But when we talk to adults, let's say 30% of them, not all, 30% will tell you it's not necessary. I don't need it. I can afford it. I don't have to keep it. Have bought my drink. I've finished drinking. Why do I have to bother about the bottle?
But then we can change the narrative through.
So that is one of our area of challenge. People's mentality. People don't want to change. But luckily, maybe because we have a skill of educating people, most of the people we meet always have a change of heart. They are wowed. And maybe another reason why we don't have much of that challenge and we are able to manage that challenge is because we show. We don't do much of talking. We show you. So when you see it and we tell you, guess what we used to make this? And he said, what? And we tell you, it is corn husk. It is paper. You'll be like, wow. So that wow.
Can easily get around me.
That wow.
Yeah.
As, you know, giving that it onto the art. So it's easy for them to change.
Yeah. Let's talk about your policies you would like to see in this sector, because I mean it is one growing sector that everybody is trying to see. I mean, I've seen Adejumoke Olowookere do a thing.
She's doing fantastic work with nylon, nylon.
It is actually amazing. Fantastic. So let's talk about policies you would like to see that you want the Nigerian government to introduce.
The first one I want them to introduce is to put waste upcycling, waste recycling, waste management into the curriculum. Let's start from the children. Now, imagine if you and I, when we were in young school, teenage, primary school, secondary school, imagine if we've learned about waste management, proper waste management, circular economy. These are the key words that we want to see in our curriculum. Sustainability, waste management, waste upcycling.
We'll grow up with that knowledge and
environmental awareness.
Yeah, definitely.
If we have been taught, we will not grow up as this kind of adults that don't care. So the first major policy I would love to see is for waste upcycling and waste training to be included into the curriculum, both for the teachers and for the students. 2, every public space must have segregated bins. You must have a bin for plastic, a bin for nylon, a bin for cans. It makes it easier for upcyclers and recyclers to pick it up. So if it is mandated, every bank must have at least 3 bins. Every hospitals, every public space must have it. People will, because the more people see it, the more they can change their mentality. But if we don't see it, we tend to forget. So if they put that into the policy, but not only put that, enforcing it. You know, we have good policies, we have good rules. It is enforcement that is our problem. So I want the government to enforce. Guess what? Do you know that it is in our policy that nobody should burn their refuse?
Well, nobody knows.
Do you know that it is an offense? If you are caught burning your refuse, an offense in our constitution. But who has been picked?
It's not implemented.
Who has been punished? Nobody. So the government, the policies we have are good enough. They should implement more. So I would love to see government implementing their policies. Another policy I would love to see is for enforcement also on companies doing their CSR. If every company around is doing their CSR properly, we will have the effect more in the community. The company will just be making profits, spending the profit alone on themselves, and the community that they are in is suffering. That should change. Should I go on? I can go on.
Let's leave it at that. So, what advice would you have for female entrepreneurs that are probably interested in going into such business?
Well, go for it. Start now. There are so many people out there that can train you. It's not money you need. Oh. I've trained some people I've trained a lot of people that don't even have money. So it's not money. Go all out. Whatever your desire is, whatever you want to do, go out and do it. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't think, oh, I need one big thing. That's one of the beauty of what we do here. It's upcycling. It's so cheap to start. You can start with nothing. You can start with the materials in your kitchen. You can start with the materials in your house. You don't need extra money. Start with your hands first. That was how I started. I started from my kitchen. And this is me today, 12 years running. I'm not tired. I'm getting, every day I get more inspired. I get more inspiration to go on and to do more and to do more. So for every woman planning to start something like this, or planning to start whatever you want to start, what I will say is start. Stop talking about it. Stop dreaming about it. Put action to it. Yeah. If you fail, learn from that failure. Put that failure into another thing. Move on and fly with it. The sky is just a starting point.
So they say the sky is just the starting point. But how do you monetize this product? I mean, apart from the fact that you do projects, you sell out some of this product. How do you monetize this product?
We partner with different people. Like, for example, once I'm done with this now, this is going into an art gallery. If I tell you how much I'm going to sell this, you'll be shocked. It's going into an art gallery, and that's where we're going to sell
So these things are like prized treasure.
It is customized. It is handmade. It is bespoke. So it is not small money as you're looking at it once I'm done. Because it's an artwork. It's actually an art expression. So it is my time and my creativity that they're going to buy. And you know, one thing about business is that you sell it to the people that knows the value. Yes. If I take this to OJ now, the women there will just be looking at me and saying, how does that put pepper in my pot?
Or they'll probably even turn it into one of their trends.
So yeah. If you have bespoke premium product like this, you find your market. Your market is out there. As no matter how much I want to sell this, some people will still not buy. Not because they think it is cheap, or not because they think that it is too expensive, but because they think that it is cheap. So even if I put 1 million on it now, somebody will still tell you, I can't buy it 1 million. 1 million is too cheap. Whereas 1 million is the whole world to somebody. So what I will say about this is that we find the people that values it and we sell it to them. Now, if you say you are working around the environment, you are talking about sustainability, and you don't have any product that is made from waste in your house, please, what environment are you preaching? Where are you talking to? So it's not about talking, it's about putting action behind your words. So we do souvenirs for events, for example. We do gifts for birthdays. We do interior decorations with waste. We use tires, we use plastic bottles, we use fabrics, we use paper.
We use absolutely
everything. Every form of waste, every form of household waste we use.
So how long would it take you to work on this project? Or
it depends on the amount of hours I have. If I sit down at it, I can finish it a whole day. But if I want to do a complex design, it may take me 1 week. It depends on the design. It depends on the design and the medium that I'm using. Because this medium is already ready, it took me a while. Yes, 2 of us had to sort this out and cut it. I have one of my colleagues here that helped me to cut this. So we've been at this since early morning today now, and I'm still not done.
So all this was just today?
Yes.
Just a day job?
Yes, a day job. But you know that this one did not take a day. This one had been piping. So for preparation, it depends on the... You can do... I have projects that I did for... Then sometimes you do project based on how you are inspired. You may be doing a particular project that you get tired, or you don't like the way it's going, you leave it. Then you come back to it later, you pick up. So sometimes a particular project will take like 6 months, take like 1 year. I have projects that I've abandoned for like 1 year. Then one day I'll just say, oh, this project, today is your day. Then I'll finish it that day. So I will calculate all the number of the hours that I've stayed to think and to
It's just the mind of the creative. It happens. It's just the mind of the creative. So let's talk about, on the final notes, what are your plans for the year? What should we be expecting from African Creative Hub?
Ooh, we have actually changed our name from African Creative Hub
To
African Creative Sustainable Synergy Hub.
interesting.
You know, the vision is getting bigger and more clearer. So, and we are expanding. And what I see is my vision for the next 5 years is for me to train 200,000 youths and empower them. You know, it's different for you to train and they don't have way forward. But I'm praying that I will be able to train 200,000 youths and empower them. And then I'm also praying that I will be able to teach and show at least 2 million children in primary, secondary, and university what it means. I have different engagements piled up even for the year. I'm talking at different schools, I even got an invitation in a university. So now we are even lecturing in the university. We've partnered with Technical University. We've partnered with NYSC so that we can reach out, because we realize that education is key. Once people know, then they are willing to change. But if they don't know, I've had examples. We will go for World Cleanup Day. We will pick a particular dump site. I will mobilize 100 people. We will clean up the place. And then the following day, the waste is back there. But if we have enough time to sensitize the people in the community, we show them what the waste can be done, it won't be like that. So education is the key. And that's what we want to focus on. So in the next, we're hoping to expand. We told that we're working on the waste museum. By this year, we want to open our waste museum. It's going to be the first in Africa. Yeah. It's going to be a perfect ecosystem for plants, animals, and human.
Yeah, because I can hear the sound
plants, animals, and human.
Yeah.
We're going to have, it's going to be a center where students, adults, older women, older men can come in and see. So every finishing is going to be from waste. We're going to have artworks from waste. We're going to have, we've started this already. It's 60% done. I'll show you some pictures. Our floor is from waste. We use waste from plates, waste from cover of bottle, waste from plastic bottle to do our floor for our walkway. We use tires for the ceiling. We have plates on our walls. Now, each of the space at the Waste Museum is going to be telling a story using waste. It's going to be telling a story about a particular era, about a particular material using waste. So it's a place where people can come in to be inspired to see the wonders of waste. We're going to open that this year. So that's our plan. That's our major plan for this year.
I mean, this is beautiful. And I must say, this is like a great work you're doing here. I'm fascinated by all of these things that are here. And I'm inspired as a woman to do more and to turn everything that I think that is a waste into something. Thank you for your time. I hope we've not been so much of a distraction, but we've just come to learn at your place. Thank you for being a good host. And we look forward to all of these things and pray that
we will invite you when we are launching.
We really look forward to it. And that brings us to the end of today's program on Women Series. Thank you for joining us on the show today. It was great having Adejumoke Olowokere as our guest today. And it was fun time engaging with her, talking about the waste and recycling industry. And you could also visit the site to check more, to get more updates on your news stories and videos. Until next time, stay safe.